to do, but I want to make sure I get this out of the way first. When I talk about this, the truth about gray screens. I see a lot of these gray screens all over the market. Doesn't make a difference if it's a gray screen. Doesn't make a difference if it's a dark screen. As long as it's gray, it's going to have problems. And for those of you saying, well, what about screen paint? Screen paints, physical screens, they all have problems. They don't work. They can't see contrast. Contrast is an extremely important part of a projection screen setup. It must be, it's something that you have to have. It's a must for any projection screen to be able to survive. They have to be able to see the gray. I'm sorry, see the black. My bad. Wrong choice of words right there. They have to be able to see the black levels. They have to. So we're going to be doing a couple of these setups. One's going to be a white surface. One's going to be a silver surface. We're going to have a dab of our product on the other side of it. Remove it. Show you how much you're losing from your screen. And keep in mind, we'll have these on much bigger setups, as in Optima P2, Epson LS800, some major projectors we'll be bringing in to show this on display on why our product is better and why this is not working like it used to anymore. Like I said before, gray screen back in its heyday did exactly what it was designed to do. Mind you, we used to sell it back then. If it didn't work, I wouldn't have sold it. That's how I started my company off on gray. But you have to realize, where's that projector? You have to realize that it has passed its time. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And the problem we have is there are people out there, not only just this guy right here, but other people out there that are selling these screens, like I saw with the Elite screen. I saw the screen basic, like I said. It didn't pick up the way it was supposed to. The whole entire demonstration was done in the dark. Literally, every time we went to go turn on the image for the screen, dark environment, dark environment, dark environment, dark environment. So yeah, that's what customers are faced with now. You know, that is what they call, whoopsie, the normal. Let me remove this off my desk too. On top of these, off my desk altogether. Because that's going to keep attacking that. My monitor's going to keep hitting that over and over again. I got a stand that I'm making for this. We got a stand that we're designing for this. So we got something we got set up. I want to do a lot of these video demonstrations on my channel. It's simple and plain. Got a basic QME projector, nothing expensive, no 4K, 1080p, 720p, 10,001 contrast. It should read with no problem whatsoever. So there's more than enough of what you need to do a setup. Now, they'll make you believe that these projectors will work on their products, and they actually don't. So what we have in this demonstration, it actually strikes right down to the point. We have just a dab of our paint on the opposite side, as you saw. We got it covered over with the paint. So you can see when we cover it up. And let me see, we'll use use the PlayStation for this one. That's his setup over there. I don't have to touch him anymore. I can basically use my setup over here. Right on these plants, since I have on a table, I'm doing another paint job on the plants to get ready for my new case. All right, so here, there, and that's basically about it. So it should be able to read from here, right? Perfectly fine. So you should be able to read contrast, color, the whole 9 yards. Everything should be picked up, right? Now, mind you see, this is why I showed this little demonstration. You know why? This is what we use in court. This is exactly what we use in court. So if you're a company and you made a claim that your product reads at 100% black level, this is what's going to happen to you in a courtroom. You're going to see this again in a courtroom, or send this to you in an email, and you know that this is what will happen to you in a courtroom if you don't change those specifications quick. Now, why the specifications have to be changed? Customers are getting ripped off. Being told they can read a black level when they technically can't read a black level. They're not picking that up. And especially for those of you who have screens that are being ambient light rejection, which we saw that in the demonstration with Elite screens, ambient light rejection screens, sunlight light rejection technology, and majority of that demonstration was done with the lights out. So for those people thinking at the end of the day that, oh, you're just challenging, we're challenging everybody. Everybody. We don't care who you are. Big company, mega company, small company, we're challenging everybody. Because you can't claim a screen to be ambient light rejection if you got it in the dark most of the time. What did I just pay for? Now I got an ambient light rejection technology. I want to use it in a fully lit environment. I want to be able to see the color, the contrast, the whole 9 yards. If I got to turn that thing out every single time a contrast level comes up, that defeats the whole purpose of me having ambient light rejection technology to begin with. Now, as you can see, the menu we have here for the PlayStation, I had somebody saying, well, you have to have a play. It doesn't make a difference what system you have. You can't read it. You can't read it. It doesn't mean you get a PS5, you're going to read 100% contrast. Anybody remember reading that in the description of the PS5? Or buy a PS5, you get 100% contrast. It doesn't say that. They say it with PC, they say it with the 5090, any of the high-end graphics, nothing. It doesn't say that. Just because you have a 5090 or 4070 or 4090 doesn't mean it's going to give you the ability to read 100% contrast. No, that's just a lie. That'd be a lie on their behalf, and they're not going to say it. So that means that whatever console system you get, anyone down to Atari 2600 basic Pac-Man can't read off a gray screen. Now, let's see what happens if I remove that surface right there that has our black technology on the side. So if we tell you our product is better, and you sit there at the next and say, no, it's not, I'm not having this conversation with you anymore on YouTube. We'll go to court over it. And we'll let a judge decide. And mind you, once we go in there, you know what's going to happen in there, right? We're going to beat the crap out of your screen. And then that person who types in all the information, everything that's said, that's going to go on a court record. In court record, we're going to take that document and we're going to post it to our site so everybody can read what happened in there. We're going to use those documents to build our company even higher by challenging other companies. There's no point in challenging YouTube. We're going to take it to court. Let a judge decide. Now let's remove this out of the way and let's see how much of an improvement our product gave to the Cumi Q2 projector. So if you can see the menu crystal clear. See that nice black level that pulls up? See all the colors that pop off of it? See right there? All those colors right there. Nothing washed out. Nothing. Now, mind you, just add real quick, if you were a person who went out and made statements that our products versus your product came up so dark and watchable, mind you, let me give you a bit of a sticker shock here. They start off at $10 million. That's where they started, because it's a very, very hurtful and dirty statement to say about someone's company. It could cause me damage at the end of the day. So we'll bring that damage rate back to you at $10 million. Now, if you have no way to back this up, then you know what's going to happen, right? All right, okay, moving on. A lot of you getting sued this year, so you know that. A lot of you are getting sued this year, and the lawsuits are staggering on what you're going to be sued for. But again, remember, you know the rules of life. Don't say things you can't back up because there's consequences behind those things that you say, right? Mother and father have taught you those things in life, right? So you're well aware as adults, you tell your kids the exact same thing, right? But you don't follow the same thing that you tell your kids. That's also going to be embarrassing for your family members seeing you go through this ordeal. But anyway, there you go right there. That's how much you lose off a gray screen. We don't even have fully lit in here. We're not even fully lit yet. It's a lot, ain't it? Watch this. Watch when I scroll through it. Watch all the areas that our technology will pick up that a gray screen can't read. So as I said before, why even bother painting your setup with a gray screen? Now, one of the things we see in these demonstrations with these gray screens is they use high-end projectors, again, to be able to lie and manipulate the image. Ooh, so Call of Duty, and yeah, check that one out. Racing? Yeah, check these out. Anyway, so you'll basically go in. I'm looking at some stuff they have on here. I got to start shopping and buying some of this stuff. You're looking at the fact that you lie. Use beefy projectors with high contrast, dark environments to try to manipulate and trick people into thinking they're seeing what they're seeing. And this is probably for you all good and well. But it's different when you have to go into a courtroom with this. And you have to do this demonstration. Because now you can't lie. Anything in there, mind, you're under oath on top of that. So that's a 7-year prison sentence if you mess up on that one. There's too many things at risk when you're in those type of environments. Oh, there's a Pac-Man? What Pac-Man is this? Hold on, I gotta check this out. Pac-Man roll. Can we get a demo of this thing? Oh, I need this. I'm a Pac-Man fan. I gotta have it. I'm gonna get it. Different type of Pac-Man. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting that. That's definitely going to happen. Now we got to build a screen for it. I'm going to be building me a dedicated screen for Pac-Man anyway. So as you can see, the menu for a PlayStation doesn't make a difference. So you have to have a PlayStation 5. Even with a PlayStation 5, you can't read off of it. I would love for someone to explain that Mickey Mouse freaking math to me at the end of the day. That because you buy a PS5, you're reading 100% contrast. Please give me that one. Please, somebody please give me that one. But anyway, let me tell you something. You know, gray screen paint makers remind me of gray screen and gray screen paint screens remind me of. You remind me of the car dealership where the guy comes out with the leisure suit and there's an elephant in the background, there's a circus display going on in the background, and he comes out with this leisure suit and like oil hair. He comes out, we got a fantastic deal for you right here. See this car right here? It's a 1983 Subaru. It only has 0 mileage on it. That thing's probably been back and it's probably got more mileage on it than time travel machines. He's right there, brand new, spanking new, right off the lot. I guarantee you 1% you're gonna love this car. That thing will make it 3 feet off the lot and break down. You know the rules is once it goes off the lot, you're stuck with it. You remind me of that guy the other day. That guy. The guy comes in, he got a row of freaking gritty teeth, and one of them is actually gold smile. That's the only thing you see reflecting blondie in your eyes. That one go to like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and that red nose like that. You're like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, right here, fantastic. We got a Chrysler LeBaron. Remember those things? Why did they name it LeBaron? Anyway, Chrysler LeBaron right here, completely convertible, air conditions, our top package. You can get this for a low price of $3,000 a month. I guarantee you with 0% APR. APR is probably going to be like 60% APR on it. Read the fine print, all this stuff. That's what it reminds me of. That's what you guys remind me of. Because you come out there and like, what we got here on the lot right now, we got this gray screen right here. It is guaranteed to give you 100% contrast level. I'm just going with the whole thing. I watched a lot of old movies. Contrast levels, 100% color balance without ever calibrating at all, period. Look at the clarity, look at the vision, look at the image I get. Yes, I know we're in a dark environment, but this is how you optimize your viewing pleasure, by just having it in a dark environment where screens were meant to be at. No, they're not meant to be at, and they're not anymore with the technology we have today. And all you got to pay for your projector is just a small fee of $3,000 and up in order to be able to get the most out of the enjoyment of your projector entertainment. And then you drive it off the lot, which means you'll buy it from them, and you'll get home and set it up and turn your lights on. Guess what happened? This mess will happen. So now they got lemon laws now. Because, you know, a lot of these people, these cars people are getting in, not all of them, but saying these particular people were going and selling damaged cars to people. And a lot of people got ripped off and lost a lot of money. You know, you're buying a car, you need this vehicle. You need to get to A to B, you got to pick your kids up, you know what I mean? You got to go food shopping, you got to go different places. This car is like an extension to your arm at the end of the day. It's kind of almost like the same thing about the horse. You know, the horse back in the Wild Wild West was said to be a man's bread and butter. That's how he made his living off that horse. That's why horse thieves were hung. They didn't play around with horse thieves. Horse thieves were automatically hung because you took away a man's livelihood, and that was considered to be a very serious thing. That's the same thing with a car. A car is a man's livelihood. To get from A to B, to get from here to there, that is his livelihood. And when you take that away from him, that's why lemon laws are very, very strict on these people, and they are damaging to them. So with that being said, they're kind of the same thing. There should be lemon laws against fake screens. They really should be. But anyway, right here, as you can see, yeah, this is the, when they get on there, I look at them and I see the, like the old dealerships from back in the day that sold those old beat down, broken down cars. That guy called Skeeter in the back just patching these things together, and they put them in the lot, gave you a spiffy paint job, and probably put a new car. I'm throwing those cup holders in there for absolutely free. You charge more for that. But you know what? I like you. I think we're going to be real good friends. I'm going to get you those cup holders for absolutely free. Doesn't that sound familiar? Just like the fellow screen who washed out in a soccer game. I'm pretty sure he was sweet talking in there. I know 100%. I guarantee you can open up both those windows. Both those windows. Let that sunlight push on through that screen. It's not going to take any effect whatsoever. How did you sell that one to begin with? Because you put on your website your product's not ambient light rejection, but you sold someone a screen paint that operates in an area where you would need ambient light rejection. Anyone ever piece that one together? No. Some people wouldn't piece it together because they're too blinded in the day. We call them Jamie's cult. You're too blinded at the end of the day. You can't see what you want to see. It's like, you know, people follow a good, one thing about having a good shepherd is going to keep his flock away from wolves. It's going to keep sheep from walking off a cliff or wandering off somewhere where they can be hurt. But a bad shepherd, on the other hand, will basically watch his sheep walk off a cliff or watch them be attacked by wolves. Watch them wander out and get lost. That's what you did. You're a bad shepherd. So you convinced that guy somehow that he could open up those two windows, because I noticed that most people, when they're dealing with sunlight or any kind of light whatsoever, they buy a special type of curtain. It's called blackout curtains. They block out any light. And they would never ever open up a window if they said you can't open it up. Why would I open up a window if you just told me I couldn't? That means you're basically making my product look bad. So he would have never attempted to open up those windows unless that's what he wanted. He wanted to have a large screen in there and he wanted to enjoy the window light. I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted, because when he did the entire place, I watched him do the whole construction of the place. He didn't put any blackout curtains. He didn't put a wall there. Nothing. He didn't even block up the windows. They were just there. So he had intentions to watch that screen with the window light, and that's what he tried to do. And look what happened. Man, my goodness. He's like the used salesman of cars when it comes down to gray paint. I can see him coming out there with a leisure suit and one gold tooth in there like, cling. But you sold him a crappy product. And I heard that customer say, not enjoyable. And he's speaking Spanish, but I can understand that part. Let's keep on looking at this gray screen at the end of the day. Now, for anyone, any gray screen company, anyone, we don't care who you are, what big company you are, we don't care. If you feel that I'm not telling you the truth, that your gray screen paint does not read 100% contrast, then you take me to court. That's what you do. Because I will be taking you to court. It is what it is. Now, you want to make a statement that our technology is so black that you can't see it? Careful. They start off at $10 million. You can back that up on any day of the week. I have so many black versus black. I built an entire page, but I'm adding more to the page today. I have built an entire test page. We do this demonstration on products we haven't even sold yet. I can do this any day of the week. Matter of fact, I do it when people come in here because I'm requested all the time to do this. I do it here, I do it there, I do it everywhere. You guys don't have one demonstration with the gray versus gray. Now imagine if you take Mr. Bird saying my product comes out too dark and unwatchable, and I'm able to back that up in the courtroom. I'm going to reverse the tables on you and now ask you, where are your demonstrations of gray versus gray? You don't have any, which means you sold a product at the end of the day that you never fully trusted or tested. You don't know if that stuff can match house paint or not. See how things can get worse in the courtroom for you? So now we're going to challenge you in that courtroom right from that judge where your test at. And don't play around. See, it says kitty cat on the cage. It's a big old cage, right? And it says kitty cat on it. And you think there's a little kitty cat in there, right? You open it up and you find it's a full-size, grown, massive apex tiger sitting there staring right back at you. Like, oh, this is not a kitty cat. It's not. And we got claws, and we know how to use them. So we get you in that courtroom, and you make a statement, I'll reverse it right on you. Oh, where's your test? Because I know I researched your company. I know everything about your company. There you go. Let's go over and check out some videos. And the menu's not working right now. We can't use that, so forget that. Scratch that. Mind, we don't even have much light in here, and it's not working. I call these segments 50 Shades of Gray. Or 50, sorry, I'm going to put that in there. 50 Shades of Lie. 50 Shades of Lie. Okay, let's go over here and check this out. Going back over there. Like you said, kitty come out of these huge claw marks. Are like, what the freak happened to you? Apparently, it's not a kitty. It's a full-size apex tiger. And we're prehistoric. You know how big prehistoric tigers were back then? Ooh, mama. Man, if we had the animals we had back then, not the dinosaurs, if we had the prehistoric animals we had back then, you know how hunting would change on so many levels. The average hunter would be walking outside with his fire, he'd be walking out there with a tank, and probably some freaking Humvee with a 150 cal machine gun. You're not taking that down with an average gun. The things were huge. Even the alligators were huge. Now, here we go. We got this beautiful fish tank here, right? Let's go over this beautiful fish tank. There we go. This is what it looks like on a gray screen. Oh, switching over to commercial. I'm not doing 20 of that. I'm not doing 20 of that. Come on, that's a whole freaking commercial in there. That's a whole freaking, that's half some of a movie in there. I want to do the fish. There, they denied me. Oh, here, it's right here. Okay, cool. We'll be right back to it. Thank you, Lord. Bam, right there. All right. 20, not doing that. Give me 5. I'll do 5. There we go, I'll do 5.
You can see this from space. Please help. You just need the right brush.
Shoot, that blushes. Yeah, I don't. She's like Moxie from freaking from Borderlands. Oh my goodness. So there you go. See that right there? That's what you get. Now for them, they say, "Wow, look at that impressive, beautiful image." No, that image is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Colors washed out. See that tannish kind of ashy look to it? That's the first sign that the screen's not reacting correctly. So that's pretty bad. But in their standard, in their world, it's a fantastic looking screen right there. Let's show you what you're missing. There you go. That's what you're missing. Now, two people left the room, and we know why, because they come in here and they watch you and see what we say about their product. Your product is absolutely horrible. Do you understand me? And I plan to see you in court over it. I'm going to do this to you. The same thing I'm doing here, I'm going to do to you in a courtroom. Anybody with a gray screen will do this to you in a courtroom. Either you clean up your specification sheets and stop lying. Stop going with that whole traditional where customers have to be trapped to light. Now, maybe your technology, you don't have a 2.0. Stop saying that, please. You do not have 2.0 technology. Mind you, a black diamond has a 1.4. And that thing reads way better well-lit environments. How the freak you have a 2.0? You don't have a 2.0. Stop that. A 2.0 will be operating here with no problem. So you don't have that. But we have people who want to market 2.0. Nowhere near that. Stop lying. But anyway, that's how much you're missing. Now mind, you got a $40, it's a $40 QME. A $40 QME projector, 720p, 300 lumens, can't read on a gray screen. That's literally how much of your picture that gray screen will rob you from. The money, the time, the effort that you put in to do the research to get the proper machine for your setup, and that's how much a gray screen is going to rob you. It's like going backwards, which you just had. You didn't upgrade your screen, you still downgraded. That's why our product is better. Now, what product is this? Oh, this is amazing gamer paint we just designed. That thing is flawless on so many levels. Oh, by the way, I plan to do this demonstration outside today. I keep saying outside, I got certain things to come up, but I figure I got my schedule cleaned up just enough. We're gonna go outside and do the same demonstration. And let's see how well a gray screen operates outside next to this at 300 lumens. Look at that. Now this is why they tell you calibrate, because they know their screen doesn't work. And again, look at the black screen technology we have here. They said it's too dark, it doesn't read what? Don't be careful. I told you. Those are serious accusations. Now mind, it's under the law of fraud. So you do know, when I explain this from the door, that if you're caught under one of these things, there is jail time involved in this. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, but there is some jail time involved. Because you said a very nasty word about our company, and we need to make sure we can use you as an example so we don't have this problem again. So be careful. Now, do I want to see somebody lose their time in the behind bars? Not really. Don't want that. That's why I say be careful. Be careful the words you choose. Because if you think you're on YouTube and you think no one's watching you, you'd be surprised how far my people reach out. And most of all, more than that, this technology is blessed by God. So guess who else sees you? That's a lot. Look at the bubbles. Look at the individual bubbles. I like this part right here. I'm going to go back to that real minute. Look at this. Look at the individual bubbles right there. Look at that. Look how much of that's gone from a gray screen. Now, for the person who gets angry about this the most, this is your product, by the way. It's yours. I've done testing. I've been doing testing on your product since day one. I got tons of videos of this stuff outside, ultra short throw projectors, pico projectors, venue projectors, on-site, off-site. I've been unboxing your stuff for years, man. I got tons of cancellations. I got cancellations from eBay, stretching all the way over to websites. I got so much stuff on your stuff. It doesn't work, man. And you keep putting this stuff out like it works. Like you try to rip people off on eBay and bring out some house paint. We all know how it was made. It's called the Black and White Paint Challenge. You gave it away for free at one point and then turn around and try to swindle a bunch of people and make it sound like something new. It wasn't something new. And right there in the live stream, which I have it documented and recorded, you changed out the image and turned around and said, oh, now it's called the Black Hybrid Mix. Took our specification sheets and stole our stuff at the end of the day. You can't back that up. You can't back up your stuff. And then what happened? Disappeared off eBay. That's what scammers do. Scammers go out and they lie, don't back anything up, and the minute they get caught, they disappear. Habit of doing it. This product is awful, man. I don't even know how you dupe that many people that badly on this. Of course, yeah, using a high-powered projector and trying to use all these special bells and whistles and darken the environment and try to fool you. That's literally how much you're missing. That's a crying shame. I feel sorry for people that are just getting into the field. You know how wonderful experience it is when you get your first projector? It's like an experience like no other. It's like your first birthday, first 4th of July, first Christmas, when you get that one pack, something you really wanted, and you open it up and it's there. You're still that experience. That's an experience that lasts people a lifetime. You know what I mean? Everything changes when you get a projection screen. The way you see things change. Now you got freaking popcorn machines in there, because popcorn tastes so much better when you sit on a big screen, especially when it's yours. Much better. Watching movies and sports, a whole new different experience. Now you got some freaking red velvet across your doorway. I need your tickets, please. Are you kidding me? Like this is a movie theater. We got a movie theater, get movie chairs. The whole experience changes for you. Everything. Now you imagine you're setting all that up, getting ready for that screen to fire up, and it turns out like that. That's an awful experience to go through. But that's why I feel sorry for that customer. When he ever contacts us at the end of the day, we got something for you, buddy. You're going to have the gamer for free. Because that's what that gamer would do to his paint. That's awful. I watched how he put that whole thing together. You watch this demonstration, he put a lot of work in there. It's a lot of work. You know, you got this vision in your head, how the screen's going to look, and you get it, and it's unenjoyable. So, you know, for those of you sit back and you laugh at the shenanigans of Fernando, Crow 1176, I'm mentioning your name, yes I am. So you laugh at those shenanigans. You think it's funny? You think about the people who got ripped off by this guy. Because again, the way life is that you find him entertaining, well, what comes around goes around. Same thing can come back in your back pocket too. If someone rips you off down the line, or you lose a lot of money, or something happens, remember, it's just life paying you back for supporting someone who was ripping somebody off. These people at the end of the day didn't deserve that. They deserve a screen that actually works. He should have been able to fire up that projector. This projector is far better than what we have over here. He should have been able to fire that projector up, and the image should have popped just like that. That's what he should have saw. But everybody wants to sit back and find it funny at the end of the day that what he's doing, but you don't realize the people he rips off. Churches, schools, wherever, he just rips them off. And then with these other gray screens out here, they're just as worse as he is. Because they're sitting there trying to sell you something that's not really going to work the way you think it's going to work. I love it when they basically show a demonstration and they have all the lights on. It's nice and bright in there. But the minute you turn on the screen, lights are out. What happened to the lights? We did that demonstration, the benefit of a white screen. We got it on the black one. You can watch yourself. Turn on all the lights. What are you turning the lights out for? It's the benefit of a gray screen is supposed to be the absorbing more light, especially with a 2.0 sitting on it. You're not going to get that. There's nothing special about his paints. Now, when I say about anybody else's, I don't know if there's anything special about their paints because I have to test it. But I do know for a fact because it's gray, it's not going to pick up. If it's gray, period. That's the part people have to understand. If it's gray, period. Doesn't make a difference what brand, what make, what model, what company. Gray screens can't read. Because that one guy said, what do you need a JVC projector for to begin with? I can do that on a projector that costs me under $200 and read that contrast level. Do me a favor. Take the starfield, turn your lights on. You left the room. Yeah, because you can't. I'm pretty sure you've done this already. I'm pretty sure you're showing the contrast level to see what happened if this projector did exactly what you paid for and it didn't do it. It's still stuck in the dark. If you look at the P1 demonstrations versus the P2 demonstration, different type of projector, but they're both in the same environment. Every single one sits in the same environment. Nothing changes. See the whiteness on that bridge? Now see that? That technology can read an extremely high white level. Plus pick up the entire city background and a 100% black level all at the same time. Screens that are too saturated with too much contrast can't read that white level. They come up too dark. That's one of the things we noticed in Jamie's paint. Some of the blacks that we were trying to make, that screen came up so dirty. It was a very dirty screen. And at that, with a screen that dark you claim it to be, why are your environment lights off? Why are they off? They're not supposed to be off. The things are supposed to be on. You got a black technology. You're supposed to be able to read with your lights on. Because it can't read it. White lights fail, that's why. See that? This is how bright my environment is. We operate in here. And it's 24,000 in my ceiling. It's literally the equivalent of sitting underneath a UFO. That's what it feels like. Meters can't pick up in here. They don't read at all. When we go outside, they definitely don't read out there. So I just gave it to a friend of mine. He's using it for something because we can't use it. We need a special meter. Well, but that's how much you're losing. Look at that. Let's go back to the fishies. Okay. It's a 2.0 game. It's not a 2.0 game. Heck no. Let me get my lights up here. Top of it. Turning things off, for goodness sakes. Got them on all the time. Can't stand those lights. Freaking UFOs. UFOs.
There's nothing like access to the largest global airport lounge network.
Now, I don't want him to think at the end of the day we're just coming at him and it's only him only we're coming at. No, it's any gray screen's going to have this issue. Any gray screen's can't do this. It's gray. I don't care if it's ambient light rejection. I don't care if it's ceiling light rejection. I don't care what kind of rejection it is. It's not going to be able to pick it up. I don't care how much money you spend for your projector. Don't make a difference. You can't read it. Even the gunmetals figured that one out years ago. And then sitting there saying that your gray screens compete with gunmetal? No, 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 no. Really? Seriously? You're going down that road on that one? Good gracious, man. Look at this. You see how bright my color level is on my technology? Look how washed out it is on a gray screen. They try to convince you that the lighter colors is actually brighter. No, that's washed out. It's all washed out. So it shows that our gamer technology is an advancement for your gray screen. It obsoletes the gray screen. White screen can't hold a candle to this technology. So if you're upgrading your white screen to a gray screen, you have downgraded it again. And for any company, don't care who you are at the end of the day, if you feel at the end of the day, Mr. Bird's line in this demonstration, signed document, we'll see you in court. We send it over and over again, every video, signed document, see you in court, signed document, see you in court. You'll try to convince the judge if you read it 100% contrast. And see how well that one turns out. And if anyone feels at the end of the day you want to make a false statement about my business by saying that our products come up too dark and unwatchable, no. You also start off at 10 mil. They start off at 10 mil. They go up after that. So you're going to have to prove that that technology right there comes up so dark it's unwatchable. And that is going to be virtually impossible. You're going to owe me $10 million, including my lawyer's costs, court fees, and anything else we decide to slam you with in that courtroom. Because I'm going to burst the tables and say, how much of your stuff was tested against gray paint before you sold your product? Now you got a problem on your hands. Because I know you didn't test it. You know why? I tested your stuff. Behind camera, I did a lot of testing on your products. I know that your stuff can do what it can't do. I know things about your products. The reason why we never showed those demonstrations, why? Leverage in court. So when I question in court, I'm going to throw that at you. Because you can't back it up. We know it. And then there, it ain't YouTube. You can't squirm out of it. You can't hop. No, you're in a courtroom. There's nowhere to go. You got to answer those questions. So be careful about walking into a courtroom and making statements you can't back up. I know things about you that you can't back up. We can back those up 100%. I can't wait. I have a field day in there with this. Can't wait to go outside with this. It's going to be more fun with it. So that's why we call the gamer paint the most superior game screen paint we have ever developed. There's nothing else. We're not engineering making there's no other paint on the horizon. That's the final stop. That's one of the best products we've ever had. And mind you, this is after I sat there and made that statement in the middle of that floor. I said, if I am all these things, may the Lord out me for who I am, May he show at the end of the day that we are this, we are that, everything he said, may he bring it to light. And what did he do? He advanced our technology so high, we knocked out the other screen too. So that ultimate black cinematic, that screen paint is gorgeous, but it can't compete with this. Everything we had is upgraded. In other words, not going to sit up there and watch his Christians be prosecuted, watch his Christians be called liars at the end of the day. He's not going to stand for that. If I am who I say I am, he's going to show who I am. And look what we have. Look at the colors on that. $40 projector. This is why I say, when you see me on YouTube, and you see me see a screen, and the first time I say, washed out, it's washed out, screen's washed out, washed out. And people say, oh, he's just jealous, that's why he's saying it. No, your screen is literally washed out. I can go through 1,000, 100, 300, 1,000 video demonstrations on YouTube on gray screens, and every single one of your screens are washed out. That's not even color. That's what they're trying to convince you, that's color. Look at the color right here. If you got a color, look how beautiful those levels are. Your screen is freaking washed out. You know, if you've been eating cheap hamburgers all your life, right? That's all you know is cheap hamburgers. If you ate hamburgers, oh man, hamburgers are the best of the best of it. I stand by this 100%. So one day someone takes you to a fancy restaurant and you have filet mignon. And you eat that and you go, oh my goodness, my life has been a lie. I've got a chance to taste something way better than what you've been eating at the end of the day. Now you know the difference between the two. Well, it's the same thing with gray screens at the end of the day. They've been looking at these gray screens for so long that they really think that they're top screens on the market, but they're not. Until you see something better, and now you know the difference between the two. So for the person that convinced you that that is an amazing image, just lie to you. Because it isn't an amazing image. But it's basically washed out. Too much product we sell when we do these demonstrations. That's why I'm going to have these demonstrations done like this. This is all I need. To do my demonstration, I don't need a big old monster projector screen. I got a screen coming anyway. I'm buying it anyway. I like that. I'm going to set it up. But to do basic demonstrations, when I go to companies, I can do it with a white surface easily. And we show them this right here, blows their mind. My projector costs way less than theirs. I can do it in their flooded environment because I'm used to being in it. My lighting in here is way brighter than everybody else's, which I notice when I walk in other people's mics. Man, your lighting in here is nice. I love my 24,000. Don't get me wrong, I love it because it's fantastic for testing. But we walk in other environments, we're way brighter than they are. And we go, hey, look, here you go. They'll say, well, we upgraded to a gray screen, and this is what we're picking up. It's the same thing. All your stuff matches. It does. It technically all matches. We dab a little bit on the paint. Put that up there, and yeah. They'll think they're seeing an amazing image. What do you think you're seeing contrast? You know the background is supposed to be black, right? It's an OLED demonstration. That's supposed to be black. But they accept it because, you know, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's the best they can do. They went on, did the research, they spent the money for an expensive projector. And, you know, at least, you know, it's watchable. I just accept it for what it is. Isn't that a shame? You have to think that way. You spent all that money. Well, you know, yeah, it could be better and all, you know. They see the improvement when they turn the lights out, you know. It could be better and all, but, you know, it is what it is, you know what I mean? At least they can see it. Can you imagine that? Accepting that. You paid all that money. And then we come along and we give you this. And we did it on a projector that costs far less than the projector you just paid for. You paid $5,000 for one, we paid one for $150, $10. So wait, that's a $10 projector and you're getting that image at the end of the day? Yep. So it means we didn't have to spend $5,000 for that projector. We could have got it for under $200. There you go. See the wheels start turning? Look at the black level in the background. See the black level reads, the colors pop at the same time? That gamer paint we have sitting on our website, you can get $1,000 a quart for it easily. I had people come in and when they sign contracts to get that paint for $1,000 a quart. We have it under $600, that's where it stays at. Now, for those people who are unhappy with the under $600 mark, this ain't your crappy paint at the end of the day. You want me to charge the same price for these, whatever this mess is at the end of the day? No. My technology takes out $7,000 screens. $5,000 screens. That gray paint can't even take my product out. You want that cheap paint. You want cheap paint, then you stick with cheap paint. That's what you go with. You get what you pay for. I got to make my money at the end of the day. Business is business. But I could get more out of that. I can get $1,000 a quarter. A lot more than that. Because I can take out larger screens, more expensive high-end screens. But under $600 is an extremely fair deal. And heck, if you don't want to pay it, doesn't make a difference to me. God always blesses us with orders every single day. So what you don't pay, 10 more will pay. Doesn't make a difference. At the end of the day, that 10 more can sit outside and watch a movie. They can do demonstrations. As I said, on camera, my customers do demonstrations that people selling products that they can't do. Well, let's see. Let's go get past this. Let's see what else we have on here. Hey, we want to do some outer space. We can't do outer space. It won't read on a great screen. Man, imagine just being stuck with these freaking crazy options. No options. You have no options. That's what I find jacked up. No freaking options. Outer space screensavers. Gotta cover this up. Can't let you see that yet, can we? No, we can't. Let's find something from outer space. Now, see all that gray? Let's pull this up. So basic. Nice star field, a lot of lights on it. Let's just grab this right here. So question, where's the black at? It's a 10,000:1 contrast projector. Human user 10,000. We're right on top of the screen. So, where's the contrast? And I put a request out. I got one person that did it. If not him, I got one person to request. I asked anyone with the P2 projector, show me a demonstration of full lit environment with contrast. Show me what 2,000,001 looks like. No one's did it yet. Only one person did it. He turned it on, the menu, everything washed out on the screen. And the other person so-called did it because he tried to do it against network gray, and the logo for the LG, that LED that came up, not LG, but the OLED emblem didn't pop up. It popped up in gray on his screen. It popped up on gray on the gray screen paint, or sorry, the house paint. It's supposed to be in black. So he actually did show it. That a P2 at 2,000,001 could not read on a gray screen. I'm going to screenshot that image and just post that. 2,000,001 contrast couldn't read on that screen. Now, mind you, in this demonstration, not only do you have to pick up the black background, but you see those little white stars? You have to pick that up. Nice, bright, and vivid. Let's see what we do on our end. Let's see what our customers get. There we go. Bring me some stars in there. And what do we do? Our stars don't pop up. Where's my stars? There we go. There's my stars right there. Look at that. It's like looking to a portal, don't it? You ever watch the movies where they paint in a tunnel and they travel right through the tunnel? That's what this paint looks like. Look at that. They're all beautiful, bright. Those images are popping through. And look at the gray screen. Can't read the contrast. Oh, let's get a starship in here. Well, that didn't go well for the gray screen, did it? Look at that. It didn't read the contrast. What's the black level on the contrast? Not there, right? Where's the retina? We're missing a lot there. We're missing the outer space. All that's gone. That's not even there. Look at the planet, the detail to the planet. And mind, the planet has a shadow effect right here. That's not there. It's gone. Look at the starship washing out as it passes through. We're missing all that. So I picked up the nice bright white levels in the hallway. plant in the background, 1% black pushing through. Shocking, ain't it? You have to look at how much you're missing. You're missing a ton of your picture is missing. It's like you buy full price for a projector and you get it home, you open it up and like, hey, wait a minute, I only got half a machine in here. Where's the rest of it? Oh, you're not going to use all that stuff. It's virtually impossible. But I paid you paid for it, you're not going to use it at all. It doesn't work. QME 2, QME 2, QME 5, QME 6, QME 8, none of those work on gray screens. Ultra short throws, long throw projectors, venue projectors don't work on a gray screen. It's not an upgrade anymore. It's a downgrade. It's better than the white screen, yeah. But again, at the end of the day, it still operates like a white screen. White screens have to be in the dark, that's going to be in the dark. White screens contrast over some pool, that contrasts over some pool. White screens colors fade, that color fades too. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Now, I say this over and over again because I still see people with these gray screens. This is what you paid money for at the end of the day. And you can say, oh, but no, all your screens do this. Because if it doesn't, I would have had a court order by now by some company that said, hey, my gray screen is 100% black. How come we don't have one of these yet? How come no one's ever served me a court on this one? Then that means Mr. Bird is right. That means your gray screen doesn't read a contrast level. And that shows you how much you're missing. Now, if you were to take everyday black paint, we did this one already. Remember, we took the black paint, put it up there, put a white surface next to you, show you how people fool you on black screens that they didn't make correctly, that they're failures. In that demonstration, we showed you the black paint. We showed you white surface. Show you that, oh, look, see, we pick up a better color on our black paint. But if you take the same black paint and you stick it against my screen, it turns dark. We could do that to you in court on a black screen. That's one of the tests we do against your screen to show you that your stuff is nothing special. It's just everyday black paint, probably a little white, little mic or whatever in it. It's just nothing special. It's just some cheap made black product. It's not the real deal. So one of the tests we run in there is we take your screen, whatever it's painted in, or take a black paint. Same thing, get do the same thing, black paint. We put it right next to a white surface. You'll see the difference, right? But now we take that same black surface, we stick it against my paint. What happens? The screen turns dark. Means your stuff wasn't properly tested. And since I'm an expert in the field of black technology, I would know more about that product than you do because I have more testing, more experience, and I've been here longer than you have, which means I outrank you in a courtroom anywhere. Any courtroom anywhere, I outrank you. My experience level is higher than yours. So whatever I say would stand better than yours. And I can ask you questions that I've already done that you haven't done yet because I researched your company and found out you didn't do these tests correctly. This is going to cost you a lot of money in that courtroom. So you better prepare and know what you're getting yourself into if you walk me in one of those rooms. Now, to that being said, to these people who make these phony products, to customers at the end of the day, you should be getting that. Bigger question, grade screen. Where the frick is the rest of my screen? Yeah, sitting in the dark, trying to figure out how to make it work, 'cause it doesn't work. Gotta turn out the lights and sit in the dark. See, this is what we see. See that? See that level popping like that? This is what we read. See that? And I say, look, you're picking up a contrast level. What's a contrast? No, you're not picking up a jack. You can read. QME's 10,000 to 1. It's not reading on there. It's having issues. There you go. See right there? You can't even read with the lights out next to our technology. So even in the dark, your stuff doesn't work. Fully lit environment, maxed out at 24,000, you don't read. Maxed out again, you don't read. Bring it in, partial lighting, you don't read. Which means your screen can't pick up. Which means the specifications you put in there saying that your screen can read 100% contrast. You're saying you pick up a black level. You don't pick up black. You pick up a shade of gray. The problem you're going to have to figure out is what shade of gray does your screen actually read. This is where you're going to get yourself in some very, very hairy situation because you sold a product not knowing the full potential of the product itself. You didn't fully test your work, and we can get you on that. So the judge is going to ask the judge to request your test on the product before the product was sold. What type of shade of contrast do you read? What are you going to say in there? Mind you're under oath, don't lie. So, see the things I'm saying? See how nervous other people are feeling right now? Well, You're going to be in a courtroom soon. And mind, if we send you a letter and say, hey, read through your specification sheet, we bought your product, tested your product, we can tell. And if you cancel any orders, we already know from the door, you can take you to court. You can't back your stuff. So I would suggest you go in and get the typing, and I don't know how you're going to get around that one. Tell you honestly, a lot of you are screwed, and I'll tell you why. You sold this stuff before you actually tested it. They request for tests on your product. You don't have them. What are you going to do? And you gotta put that money, give people back that money. They're gonna ask for their money back. You're gonna have to pay it. This will ruin your business. But this is why you test your product before you sell it. Now you can get mad at me all you want at the end of the day and say, I don't care. If I'm an everyday customer at the end of the day, I want what I paid for. I don't want no crap out of that. I want what I paid for. I'm a person that's about that at the end of the day. I don't like it when I don't get what I paid for. It ticks me off. So if I buy your product, I'm in this office at $24,000, and I expect for that thing to freaking work. If you're saying it got a contrast or reach a black level, I want to see this. I don't want to see this. I want to see this. You understand how that works? And I don't want to hear any excuses at the end of the day by saying I got to spend more money for a projector. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear at the end of the day that I have to spend more money for a $10,001 or $20,000 or $40,000 or $1,000,001. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear I have to spend 1080p for a projector or 4K. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear calibrating at the end because I ain't calibrating jack, because I can't stand calibrating. I'm not going to calibrate. I'm not darkening my environment. You're not going to turn my environment into a bat cave at the end of the day. I want what the freak I paid for. And if I don't get what I paid for, I will bring your behind into a courtroom and I will take it all from you. That's the type of person I am. I want what I paid for. You had no problem taking my money. You had no problem at the end of the day enjoying my money. Well, I want to enjoy your product. Unfortunately, I can't because you lied and it doesn't work. So, I know what you're going to do. People who sold your stuff already and you can't back this stuff up, you might have to pull it. Because they're going to ask you, are you still selling this product? Knowing at the end of the day you knew it couldn't do what it's supposed to do. Or you didn't test it. Can you imagine, like I said, with brakes? With brakes, you buy brakes, right? You buy brakes on the faith that they're tested, right? They've been through a testing process over and over and over again. That's why every time you get in front of something, push your foot down and put that brake, you got that confident brakes are going to work, right? But imagine if they sold these things and they never ever tested them. Remember that. Imagine that. This has happened. Companies have done this before. They never tested them. So you get into a car accident, and you survive this mess at the end of the day, and you're suing the company at the end of the day because you found out the brakes were never really fully tested the way they were supposed to. You know what the lawyer's going to ask me? Your lawyer's going to ask me, can you show us tests of this product being tested before you sold it? And if they don't have any of these tests because they just pushed this thing on the market, they were trying to make a fast buck, you got a massive lawsuit coming your way. You got a massive amount of money coming your way. They got a massive lawsuit coming because you can prove that they sold an item before they ever tested it. They weren't 100% sure they lied in their specification sheets. Those are called lawsuits. So for us, as a company, we can challenge your company as you're making that statement. And you can't back that up. And it shows that you sold 50, 100, 1,000,000 of these. You got to do a recall, which means you're going to have to recall all those items back. And it'll be on court documented. It'll be on public record so everybody can read what happened in that courtroom. It'll ruin your business. You notice that when you look at the planet, see how bright it is? You can even see the shade of black that goes right through it. So if you wonder how we're going to basically fight our claims in court, just a setup, just like this, and bring it right here. Have the ball in there. That's a shame right there. I'd be ticked, man, I swear. If I didn't make screen paint and I bought somebody's product and I painted it up and did a demo, and that screen washed out of here, oh my goodness. PayPal wouldn't have been enough to keep me happy at the end of the day. I'm going to drag your behind right into a courtroom and shoot the daylights out of you. You wasted my time. I can't get that time back. I got to waste more time to fix the mess to begin with. It's time. For people, it ain't about the money. It's time. Especially when you're running a business, you're doing this and doing that. You need the screen to work. It's time. You pay for my time. Just like the guy who sold me the NEC projector that was broken. It was a busted NEC. It came in. It cracks and he shipped it in a box. He knew it was going to get damaged. Insurance fraud. That's what he was doing. And he sat there and said, don't worry, I'll give you money back. I'll give you a cut. I'll get your money back. Just send the projector back to me. He's running the same scam. It's not the money. It's the time. I needed that projector. I had a demonstration to do. I built the screen. I did the setup. I put the lights in. I put everything. I hooked it all up for that projector. And you sent me a machine that you knew was fraudulent so you can make money. No, I kept this projector and I filed a claim against them. And he got mad at me talking about, oh, but you're getting your money. It's not the money. It's time. You cost me time. So we got hit with insurance fraud by PayPal. And they don't go well. We got to go to court for that one. Oh, let's come over here and check out some more stuff on here. We're just about out of time right here. I got to go take care of some errands today. Oh, let's check out the Nebula. No, 29. We're not doing 29.
Well, would you look at that?
Yeah, I'm not doing 20. Nah, ain't gonna happen. Give me 5. I'll take that.
Aside, but it can come. The family must part.
Now, for those of you saying, well, I don't put anything, that's why we do all this testing. That's why this thing had to go through all this testing. The only way we know what it does is we have to test it. We can't just put stuff up there for the sake of just putting stuff up there. We have to test it. That technology that reads out in sunlight, I can't put up there, oh, it reads in sunlight. We have to literally test this. I need to know if this thing actually does work. I ain't gonna be sitting up there looking like an idiot in front of people at the end of the day. I ain't going through that mess. We had to test it. I'm a person who takes people to court for doing dumb stuff. I know myself at the end, so I know there's plenty of people like me out there. You think I want to bump into another person of my kind? No. Stuff has to be tested. You have to know what you're buying. And I'm one of those people, like I said, that likes to get what I paid for. I'm going to pass it off. Let's look at the colors. I'll be on camera looking at this like, oh my goodness. They uploaded this? Why would anyone upload this at the end of the day? That is horrible. So in their world, they believe that if you can see it, it's considered to be a perfect screen because you can see it. For them, if you can't see it, it's considered to be a bad screen in their world. But if you can see it, it doesn't make a difference if it's washed out or whatever. As long as you can see it, it's considered to be acceptable. And the sad thing about it, when I read the comment sections, people have been brainwashed so badly by this particular term that you can still see it, it's still good. It doesn't make a difference if it doesn't match your cell phone or not. They accept it. That's why you see so many bad screens out there. Shame. The white lightning pushing through our screen, I can read that nice bright white level in red, contrast all at the same time. The gray screen can't read any of that. So I should be able to inform sites with my setup here, educating the masses in the gray. That's when I'll be back. I got a little extra something I want to show them. They're going to find quite interesting. So I'm in there challenging. See, this is the thing about with Fernando. I never see you in there. I never see you in there with those other gray screens. I never see you in there. You said your product is the best of the best, right? So if it's the best of the best, you know it's the best gray screen ever made, right? Then how come we don't see you in there? I, on the other hand, can go in there and challenge 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 and beat every single one of them by doing that demonstration right there. Now I'm pretty sure there's going to be some companies really upset and ruffle some feathers this week. We're going to take some of our paint and paint out some very expensive sample sheets. Well, samples are expensive, but the screens are expensive. We're going to paint a little dab in there to show you the difference between our product and high-end certified. Now, they can't get mad about that because it's the deal, it's the truth. You can't say that now if I wanted to fake the projectors and if I did something fraudulent, yeah. But you can't get me if I take a little bit of my paint and put it against your screen. You're saying I can't do that? I own that surface. It's mine. I do what I want to do with it at the end of the day. Now, I would never go in there and basically put in enough. Never done any certified screen. The certified screen said it couldn't operate on a certain type of projector, like the Elite screens, Cinema Gray. They don't run on projectors under 1,000. So we put them at 2,000. We never ran Old Faithful on it because of what they said. No problem. Not a problem at all. Certain screens can't be run on ultra short throws, so we don't use those on ultra short throws. We use those on long throws. Some are for ultra short throw only, so we pull out the ultra short throws for those. That's why you have to have multiple projectors and stuff like that for testing. We don't take any of them outside. I've never taken a certified screen ever outside. Why? They're not designed for it. They're designed for indoor screens only. So, with that being said, this shows me the advantage point of our product versus service. Now, side-by-side demonstration, yeah, you do that all day long. Coke versus Pepsi, Genesis versus NES, that's been going on for centuries. But to dab my paint in the middle of your screen, it's the same thing. It shows at the end of the day, this is how superior. I want that impact. I don't want the side-by-side, not enough of it. I want impact to show how superior our technology is. And what, you're going to take me to court and say at the end of the day that, oh, our product, go ahead, make that statement. Walk that tightrope. I wish you would. You go out there and you say that my product can't compete with your technology and see how fast we do this to your screen. And that's going to be embarrassing. You walk that into a courtroom and now it's going to be everywhere. That's not going to go well. So it is what it is. So we dab some screens. We're going to flood YouTube with these things. Oh, they're going to be everywhere. Not just YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. They're going to be everywhere. Why? Because we need people to see this. Because you're not getting what you say you're getting. You're not getting the image they claim you're getting. You are getting ripped off. Look at the menu. The menu alone. Look at this.
What's the new IHOP value menu? Sick.
I don't want to do it anymore. I had a bad experience with IHOP. I can never go back.
Why do it?
Never can go back. You had a place to eat at, and it was just so bad that it just ruined you for any of the restaurants. You don't care where it's at, you just can't go in there. Yeah, that's what it did to me. And that happened 10 years ago, and I still can't go in there. It just, mental block goes off. So look at that. Look at that right there. I like this right here. You know why I like this? You got the deep reds, you got the grays, you got the contrast, and you got the white coming up the stars. And look how much of an image you lose off a gray screen. That's staggering. That's why they tell you to calibrate. This is why they keep telling you calibrate, 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 calibrate. They know the colors are coming correctly. And I'm just one last thing I have to say. How are you suggesting people to calibrate, especially on a P2? A P2, listen to me, has 1.7 billion colors attached to that machine. 1.7 billion. And you're calibrating this machine? Because the color balance is off? What the freak? Seriously? I'm not even anywhere near 1.7 billion on this. Major red flag. But you know, it's the normal. It's the normal. People are used to this. People are used to washed out screens. People are used to this. It's the normal. It's not the normal, people. At the end of the day, you're getting ripped off. All right. I like this demonstration. I'm going to do me a short video on it, post it to the other sites. This video we did right now and all our live demonstrations now are being posted to multiple sites so people can get an understanding of exactly what we're saying. Some of our demonstrations have music behind the back of it, but these demonstrations where I talk about more about oh, look at the white levels over there. I get them testing. Anyway, we basically want people to be more aware that gray screens, no, are not an upgrade. A gray screen is now considered to be a downgrade. The only reason why the gray screen survived for so long is because the gunmetal was expensive. It was very expensive. You know, you spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 for a much darker advanced screen with a higher gain on it. Way too expensive. So people still leaned on the gray screen. Gray screen did serve its purpose when the white screens were all the rage. Before gunmetal ever stepped foot, it was gray versus white. All right then. Then now you have black technology. Our technology is black. And they don't like us at the end of the day because, again, they know at the end of the day our product is far more superior. And this is why they started all these dumb campaigns and whatever. Well, long story short, those same campaigns are going to sit you right into a courtroom now. And those same campaigns can mean the difference of you basically owing us millions of dollars or spending 20 years in prison. That's where those campaigns got you. Because you have to back that up now. And we've collected all these videos down through time of these individuals on camera making these statements over and over again, which you can't deny and get out of in court. I mean, use your own content against you. Until then, that's what a gray screen does. And any person, I'll make this announcement again before I leave out of here. any person who makes a gray screen at the end of the day, if you feel that what Mr. Bird said out of his mouth on this video, I'm stating it today, get yourself a lawyer, take me to court. And you're going to tell me that your screen reads 100% black? You're a liar. It doesn't read black at all. And if you want to make the statement that our technology comes up so dark it's unwatchable, we'll see you in court. Either way, it makes some difference to me. All right, with that being said, hope you enjoyed this educational demonstration. I have to go. I got some errands to take care of that I must address. We're definitely going to be doing a few more of these today, shorts, and we're going to be going outside with this, which is a definite must. All right, got to go. Thank you for your time, and God bless.